सुरुवातीची घ्या. अप्लाय टू ऑल. काय केलं का म्हणायचं. आता नाही का. आता hello friend, good morning to all of you. Today we are going to learn a literary theory. Actually, it is not a literary theory, but it is a bridge. New criticism and Russian formalism is a bridge between literary criticism and literary theory. I will not make here difference between what is literary criticism and what is literary theory, but we will directly deals with this particular theory, Russian formalism. So before to start this theory, it is not a theory, it is a movement in literature, and it is not related to what message the literary text is giving, but it is related to in which way this literary text is written. So content of the text is not important according to this group of people. This theory started in Russia, and Russian writers, according to this group of people, message is not important of the text, but the form is important. Before to start, I would like to give you an example. See, orange. What is orange? It is a circle, one goal, but it has a different structure. It has its own form. It has its own form. Form means how it is constructed. Form means how it is built up, how it is constructed, how it is decorated, we can say, or formulated. That is known as a form. Did you get the meaning? And Russian means it is started in Russia first. That's why Russian formalism. I will again explain you the meaning of formalism when we will start the theory, this movement. See, what is the introduction of this theory? Before to read out the slide, I will tell you. In Russia, there is a revolution in 1917, and in that revolution there are some writers who are active. They are presenting the Russian revolution through their writing. In this movement that is started in 1920 and end in 1930, this movement just have a 10-year lifespan. 1920 and 1930, we can say probably 1910, from the 1910 to 1930. But the actual dates are given in the books, that is 1920 and 30. So these writers in Russia form groups. There are two groups. The name of one group is the Moscow Linguistic Circle, and the name of another group is the Society for the Study of Poetic Language. म्हणजे ग्रुप सोसायटी, कशाची सोसायटी? फॉर द स्टडी ऑफ पोएटिक लँग्वेज, पोएमची भाषा. द सोसायटी फॉर द स्टडी ऑफ पोएटिक लँग्वेज. One group, second group we can say. First one, the Moscow Linguistic Circle. Circle means a group, a people who comes together. Linguistic means that deals only with the language. Linguistic, we know there are some meter and what we can say, phonetics and so many things, meter, syllable and so many things comes under the study of linguistic. So there are two group of people, one is linguistic group and second is the group that study poetic language. So that linguistic group is known as the Moscow Linguistic Circle. Moscow is the place in Russia, and these people are coming together in that city. That's why Moscow Linguistic Circle. And second group is the society. Society means also a group that comes, so many people comes together for what? To study poetic language. So these two groups are there in Russian formalism. Okay. So in the first group, there are some prominent people who are working to study the linguistic. And who are they? They are Roman Jakobson, not Jacobson. Roman Jakobson, Osip Brick, and last one is Boris Tomaswski. Boris Tomaswski. So these three people are the member of the Moscow Linguistic Circle, and that is established or founded in 1915. When? 1915. The Moscow Linguistic Circle. Roman Jakobson, Osip Brick and Boris Tomaszewski. Now we have to see the second group. The name of the second group is, it is in Russia. Both groups are there in Russia. The name of the second group is the Society, means a group, community, for the study of poetic language. This is the second group. And it is established in 1916. First one is 15, it is in 16. And who are the prominent figure in this group? First one, Victor Shklovsky. Who is the first one? Victor Shklovsky. Second one, Boris Ikenbaum. First one is Victor Shklovsky. Second one is Boris Ikenbaum. Third one is Yuri Tineno किंवा तिनियानो. Yuri Tiniano. C. Victor Shklovsky, Boris Ikenbaum, Yuri Tinano, and we can include in this group another figures also. We can associate them to that group, which the Society for the Study of Poetic Language. They are Leo Yakubinsky, Jakubinsky, Leo Yakubinsky, Vladimir Prop, and Mikhail Bakhtin. Leo Yakubinsky, Vladimir Prop, and Mikhail Bakhtin. So these are the 9 people who comes together in Russian formalism, but they have their own group under the name of Russian formalism, under the title of Russian formalism. These two groups are there. One is Moscow Linguistic Circle and second is a Society for the Study of Poetic Language. In Moscow Linguistic Circle, that started in 1915, and Roman Jakobson, Osip Brick, and Boris Tomaszewski are the main figure. In the Society for the Study of Poetic Language started in 1960 म्हणजे 1916, and Victor Shklovsky, Boris Ikenbaum, and Yuri Tiniano, these are the main figures. Now we also associate Leo Yakubinsky. Leo Yakubinsky, Vladimir Prop, and Mikhail Bakhtin means they follow the rules. They follow some features of the Russian formalism, and that's why they also comes under this title. So this is the introduction of Russian formalism that we have seen here. What is that? Russian formalism. See, the next we have to see the definition of Russian formalism. What? The definition of Russian formalism. I will read out first the first paragraph because it is for BA second year ELT student in Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University, Amravati. And in this pandemic situation, they might ask you what we can say objective question, so that you should know all these things. That's why I'm going by line. Okay, I'm going line by line. So the definition of Russian formalism we have to see in this slide. See, formalism is concern means related with literary form. कशाशी रिलेटेड आहे? लिटररी फॉर्म. त्या एखाद्या टेक्स्ट कशा पद्धतीनं लिहिली, कुठले वैशिष्ट्ये त्या लिखाणाची आहेत. एखादी पोयम असेल तर कुठला फॉर्म आहे, कुठले फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच आहेत, कुठलं मीटर आहे, कुठलं आपण काय म्हणू त्याला मीटर, सिलॅबल अँड ऑल दिस थिंग्स, फूट, that is known as literary form. That is known as literary form. Formalism is focusing on literary form, or it is related with literary form and not with the content of literature. This is the first sentence. Content means ते बुक किंवा पुस्तक किंवा कविता किंवा नॉव्हेल किंवा नाटक आपल्याला कुठला संदेश देतो याच्याशी रिलेटेड रशियन फॉर्मॅलिझम नाही, पण ते कशा पद्धतीनं लिहिल्या गेलं, त्या लिखाणाची वैशिष्ट्ये काय, याच्याशी रिलेटेड रशियन फॉर्मॅलिझम आहे. म्हणजेच एखादी वस्तू आहे तर ती कशी निर्माण केली, कसा आकार दिला, कशी ती सुंदर बनवली. साध्या वस्तूपासून आपण जे म्हणतो ना, टाकाऊपासून टिकाऊ बनवणे, तर एखाद्या असं टाकाऊ वस्तू मटेरियल वापरून त्याच्यातून काहीतरी असं सौंदर्य, म्हणजे आपण काय डेकोरेटिव्ह एखादी वस्तू फुल गुच्छ बनवणे, म्हणजेच तो काय झाला, फॉर्म झाला. सो टाकाऊ आपण म्हणायच नाही, पण लँग्वेज इज डे टू डे लँग्वेज. And the language, every language means every writer use language to write his literary text, but every writer has its his her own peculiarities, his own quality to write. He write it in a different way. He gives that text, that book, a different form by using so many words in a different way, in a technical way. That's why what is important, literary form of the text is important, not the content. नॉट द कंटेंट. कंटेंट म्हणजे मेसेज, संदेश काय दिलेला आहे तो महत्वाचा नाही. कशात, रशियन फॉर्मॅलिझम मध्ये. सी, इन सिंपल टर्म्स इट स्टडीज, म्हणजे रशियन फॉर्मॅलिझम काय अभ्यासतं, इट स्टडीज हाऊ लिटरेचर इज रिटन, कसं लिहिलं आहे ते बुक. लिटरेचर म्हणजे पोयम असो, नाटक असो किंवा कादंबरी असो, त्याला काय म्हणू आपण, हाऊ इट इज रिटन. इट स्टडीज हाऊ लिटरेचर इज रिटन, नॉट व्हॉट इट इज सेईंग, म्हणजे ते साहित्य, ते बुक काय सांगत आहे याच्यावर लक्ष देत नाही, पण ते कसं लिहिलं जातं त्याच्यावर, त्याचा अभ्यास याच्यात केला जातो. इट इज इंटरेस्टेड इन द मॅनर इन विच वाइडली डिफरंट सब्जेक्ट्स अँड थीम्स आर कम्युनिकेटेड. See what is presented in this third sentence, it is interested to study the form of literary text, because we come to know, reader come to know that, or a critic come to know that, how the subject, different subjects and the different themes are communicated by using such a form. That we come to know, that's why we are interested to study that. It therefore treats literary forms like a language. आता लिटररी फॉर्म म्हणजे कुठलंही टेक्स्ट कशात लिहिलं जाते, भाषेतच लिहिलं जातं. भाषा म्हणजे लँग्वेज, आणि लँग्वेजचाच अभ्यास या रशियन फॉर्मॅलिझम मध्ये केला जातो, की कशी लँग्वेज वापरली. लिटररी फॉर्म्स लाईक लँग्वेज. इट देअरफोर ट्रीट्स लिटररी फॉर्म्स. लिटररी फॉर्म्स म्हणजे नॉव्हेल असो, पोयम असो, त्याला काय काय समजलं जातं या फॉर्मॅलिझम मध्ये, इट look that text as a language, as a word, as a word. See, the study of a language is an analysis of the techniques used to convey meaningful communication. See, लँग्वेजचा अभ्यास आपण कशासाठी करतो, की किंवा टेक्निकली कशी मिनिंगफुल कम्युनिकेशन झालेलं आहे याच्यासाठी. द स्टडी ऑफ अ लँग्वेज इज अन अनालिसिस ऑफ द टेक्निक्स. कुठल्या टेक्निक्स वापरल्या, यूज to convey meaningful communication, isn't it? So form means a language, and language means a techniques used by the poet to present his message, to communicate with the reader. It is not necessary to analyze what that language is saying in order to understand how it is saying it. So Russian formalism focuses on how the text is constructed, how the text is decorated, how the text is brought up, how the text is created, what the text is saying, what the message text is giving. That is not the part of Russian formalism. Got you? See, in the next paragraph, similarly, formalism tried to decode the various literary techniques and structures of meaning inherent in different forms. Similarly, formalism tried to decode the various literary techniques and structures of meaning inherent in different forms. It treats literary forms as a distinct language of its own, with its own rules and purposes. It is not interested in what a novel or a poem has to say. It is interested in how a poem or a novel conveys its themes and subject matter. Once again, I will read. Similarly, formalism tried to decode the various literary techniques and structures of meaning inherent in different forms. What? Literary techniques and structures of meaning. It treats literary forms as a distinct language of its own, with its own rules and purposes. It is not interested in what a novel or a poem has to say. It is interested in how a poem or a novel conveys its themes and subject matter. See, in the earlier paragraph, we have seen literary forms means a language, and it is the duty of critic to analyze the language and to study what techniques that writer have used to communicate meaningfully, isn't it? And in this paragraph we come to know that the language that is used in literature has its own rules, it has its own significance. It is treated differently, it is distinct than day-to-day language. So techniques and structures, what formalism tried to decode means try to understand, to find out, to search the various literary techniques that is used by the poet in his, used by the writer in his literary text. So literary techniques and structures of meaning that are inherent in different forms, प्रत्येक साहित्यामध्ये ते असतच. It treats literary forms as a distinct language. I have told you, language means a literary text, and that literary text has a different language that is not a day-to-day use language. That language is different, that is artistic language, that poet, that novelist, that dramatist use a simple word in a different way, so that this language, these words gives multiple meaning, shows hidden meaning in that literary text. So distinct language of its own, with its own rules, means that language has its own rules, and it also has its own purpose, that we cannot use such language, literary language we cannot use in our day-to-day life. It is not interested in what a novel or a poem has to say. So, Russian formalism never focuses on what is the text is saying, what message the text is giving, what morality the text is presenting, how it is reforming the society. That is not the interest of the Russian formalism, but Russian formalism is interested to study how a poem or a novel conveys its themes and subject matter. Means Russian formalism is interested to see how the poem is written, how the novel is created, how the drama is performed, what techniques the writer has used to perform such things. So that is the main or core part of Russian formalism. Thank you.